Okay, so here we have a cake cut into 16 equal pieces. I've labeled the pieces here, and we're asked to copy and complete this table. Now, what's happening here? Well, first we see that one piece of the cake is eaten. So if we take out one piece, well, first of all, the full cake is 16 out of 16 pieces, which is a whole. That's the fraction that represents one whole. And if you remove one out of those 16 pieces, the fraction that is eaten is 1 out of 16, right? And the number of pieces that remain when you remove one of these slices, what's that? That's 15 pieces remaining. 15 pieces of cake remaining. And what's the fraction that remains then as well? 15 out of 16. So that explains that first row. For the second row, all we are told is that there are 3 pieces of cake remaining. 3 pieces of cake, okay, from this original cake. So if there are 3 pieces of cake remaining, the fraction that remains automatically is 3 out of 16. All right, then we can fill in what must have happened here before. So if you had only 3 pieces remaining, that means that you probably ate 13 pieces of the cake. 13 pieces of the cake, and you have 13 out of 16 that was eaten. Okay, let's continue. What we have, a fraction that is eaten, 15 out of 16 that was eaten, so that means 15 pieces of cake were eaten. How many would be remaining? Sorry, not 15, 5. 5 pieces of cake that were eaten. And then we have how much piece would remain. So we have our 16 pieces, or 16 out of 16. We take away 5 out of 16. We're left with 11 out of 16. So that goes over there. And the number of pieces that remain, that's 11 pieces of cake. That remain. Okay, over here, fraction remaining 7 out of 16. That must mean 7 pieces of cake remain. 7 pieces of cake. And how much were eaten? Well, if you had 16 and you have 7 remaining, it's you're looking for a number that when you add to 7 gives you 16. That's 9. 9 pieces that must have been eaten, and the fraction that was eaten was 9 out of 16. Now look at this. Have a look at this. Look at what happens when we add these numbers together. We add 1 and 1 over 16 and 15 over 16. What do we get? 1 over 16 plus 15 over 16. We get 16 over 16. That's the full number. What about 13 over 16? Right here and here. 13 over 16 plus 3 over 16 gives us 16 out of 16 equals to 1 again. Same thing is happening with 5 out of 16 plus 11 over 16. We get 16 over 16. 9 over 16 plus 7 over 16. 16 over 16, whole number again. So you're either eating the cake or having some of the cake remaining.